Oh dear, hit the button. Okay, to be serious video. Yay. Not really. Yeah, this is just getting... Well, look, we have to have these arguments, right? I mean, people are... We're doing this, whatever it is, this gang thing, okay? Our side against your side. Us is we's, them's, whatever. And fine, okay. The enemy's got to be taken down any way possible kind of approach. And, yeah, well, whatever. I'm not buying into it. I make arguments on the internet. I just keep saying the same thing over and over again. I make arguments on the internet. If you don't like my argument, then fucking refute it with some kind of evidence. But never is there anything like that. I don't get a counter-argument. All I get is an argument why I shouldn't be allowed to talk, or people somehow shouldn't be... Like when I actually explain something, that explanation shouldn't mean anything to them. Just because it's coming from me, I don't get. Well, the whole thing is just stupid. Let's play along.
Alright, I'm going to do this on a regular basis. And
oh, super duper. I don't know exactly. What you did here was just completely preposterous. So you're going to be preposterous on a regular basis. Well, yeah, I mean, you know, I guess there's some entertainment value.
I'm going to do it until there is some semblance of actually talking about the subject. I tried to get through some
semblance of talking about the subject. Well, the subject is the implications of there not being a God, that the implications of a DNA molecule basically evolving weaponry in a struggle for existence that's basically just competitive warfare, and whether intelligence really has anything to do with anything besides making human beings, for a short, brief period of time, king of the world. Or something like that.
Plus video of a person claiming to know about evolution. And it is claimed that I've heard for 4 years here on...
I mean, yeah, right. And you're not going to refute anything. Just quotes. It's so easy. You want to say somebody doesn't know something about evolution. You say, okay, look right there. He said that giraffes want to make their neck longer or something. But you're not going to do that. You're just making this generic bullshit argument, saying absolutely nothing. Just saying, don't listen to them, don't listen to them, don't listen to them. What the hell is that?
YouTube. In this particular video, he made the assertion, it makes me wonder if he's ever really read the book.
Oh, it makes you wonder. What makes you wonder should make people wonder, okay, realistically. I make assertions. Yeah, I wish you would quote accurately, because you're not going to do that here. You're going to paraphrase, and you're going to paraphrase inaccurately. And it just demonstrates who's the one who doesn't give a fuck about the truth. All right, it's you. That's right.
That Charles Darwin wrote The Origin of Species without the need to collaborate with other naturalists and other scientists of his day.
No, what I argued is that he drew the conclusions articulated in the book, okay, without the need of any of them. That's true. He did it through his personal observation. It occurred to him in a, fever, moment in South America that, oh fuck, yeah, this is natural selection. Of course, it's so obvious. All right, and then he spent the next 15 years doing the politics of writing a book, basically refuting Genesis. So so he was a bit of a coward, and then it took him 15 years to get around to saying, okay, I'll publish.
That he did it all from direct observations, and I assume by that, although he didn't say so per se, he's talking about his early years on the voyage of the Beagle, when he made a lot of his primary observations, and he continued to do so at his house in Sussex, in England, Down House. And yes, I only agree to this extent. He did a lot of primary observation himself. However, The Origin of Species, The Origin of Species, if you actually read it.
Yes, if you actually read the book, it's a very, very dry read. 99.9999999% of the book is a description of a circumstance. Of this is what an animal looked like here. This is what happened to it after this breeder bred it for a certain quality. This is how regularly this new quality arose in the young. It's a description of biological function. A tiny percentage of the book, he actually draws the conclusion that, see, quite obviously this is natural selection, here is human selection, natural selection, human selection. You can see it's all the same thing, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, like any other author, he had communicated with other people, and he cites those other people in the book. Okay, but there's no real nothing. There's nothing in the substance of his outline that is not original to his own thinking.
Makes a lot of reference to other naturalists of the day.
Prove it. Prove it. He makes a lot of... No. He properly references other people confirming his results and doing parallel experimentation. There's not a lot. It's not the substance of the book. So you're wrong. Have you ever read the book?
Darwin was in a letter exchange among 4 scientists of his day just before the publication.
Yeah, please read the letters. He leaves a link here. Read these letters, okay? It'll make you anti-natalist. Just reading these fucking letters, because Darwin's talking about it. So, he's actually, these are letters where he's exchanging when his daughter's got scarlet fever. I mean, she's got the lung one, and his son is going to die of scarlet fever. Really fun stuff.
And it's reflected in the book. It's reflected in the way the book appears. He used a lot of references to other thinkers, and in fact, he says he is...
Darwin, go read the letters and you'll find out Darwin was a very civilized human being, okay, and was trying to do this thing the right way in every respect, and trying to dot all the T's and the I's and the whole smear, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it has absolutely nothing to do with him, how he conformed, how he built the theory and the understanding. So again, he wrote a paper and then was astonished that somebody else, years later, essentially wrote the same paper. And he found that, well, look, this must be real deal, because look, you wrote the same damn thing I wrote.
Indebted to and grateful to many, many naturalists, both those he knows and those he doesn't know. To say that he just came from nowhere without any background is absurd. It means you haven't...
No, I think it's absurd for you to make any kind of accusation that Charles Darwin needed any of them to draw his conclusions. He didn't need any of them. The conclusions came from his perception, from his fucking exploring the world. He lands on the Galapagos Islands and he says, holy shit, look at this crap. It's amazing. There's no God here. Okay, he even says the most God-forsaken, harsh, brutal hell on actual earth and paradise in all one place. And he sees it right there. He sees it. He sees it right there. He sees it right in front of his eyes. This is just such bullshit.
Looked at the book and you haven't read the book. Now, this person...
What part? Again, I read the 99.9999999% of the book that's talking about goddamn bird beaks and turtle shells and iguanas and sheep and pigeons. That's the fucking book I read.
who I don't know why people believe him. I don't know why people watch him. Except
Not a matter of believing him, all right? It's you people. You got to make a fucking argument. You make a goddamn argument. Why should anybody believe you? You're the one making claims, and then you point to a fucking link. This is what Darwin didn't know anything about anything. He needed a whole bunch of other people to tell him what to think. He needed all these other scientists doing all these other experiments. He could never come to the conclusion that life evolved. I mean, it was a conclusion about 100 years too late. I mean, it's a conclusion maybe even 1,000 years behind its time, just because religion so suppressed people. So this is just all such bullshit. It's a fucking obvious conclusion.
Value, I don't know. He's a lot more entertaining than I am. I'll grant that. But
Again, a lot more honest than you are.
It's being made without work being done, and that's exactly what happens.
Whatever. That's just such bullshit again. You quote my fucking claims, and if my claim is inaccurate or fucked up or way out of line, then you just point out how it's fucked up and way out of line. But I haven't seen one fucking person goddamn fucking do that. All I've seen you fucking weasels do is goddamn slander people. That's all you fucking do. You don't make any goddamn arguments.
I mean, I don't have any razzle-dazzle. I don't have any screaming. So I can...
Well, you got plenty of whining and crying.
But in this book, The Origin of Species, he is very indebted to other people.
Yeah, and what, in the preface? In the preface, of course, he's kissing a lot of ass. I mean, go read the fucking letters, okay? It's politics, you dumb bitch. You don't get that? There's this little, you can't offend these damn people because then your publication will fail. So you've got to build some sort of consensus that you're doing the right thing and that you're the guy to be the head guy on this and blah, blah, and you've earned it and blah, blah, and all this other bullshit that has to go on because of fucking politics. So you're going to say the preface of his book is the book? Well, then I think you haven't read the fucking book.
As a background, I'm not going to do a lot more than this. I have other things to do today, but and I don't know if I can get this close enough for you to see it. I want to get you onto a site in which he talks about the letters. And I can't get the whole thing into the...
He talks about the letters? No, I don't think so.
Here, yeah. I apologize for this, but I really don't have time to do this.
Oh, well, whatever. I have a life too, bitch. But I have to spend some percentage of it defending myself against these slandering fucking weasels, the elitist slandering weasels on the fucking internet.
Know if you can see that, but it's a reference, and it'll be in the low bar, to Charles Darwin and the Origin of Species. It's about letters he exchanged with Wallace, Lyell, and Hooker before the publication. And you'll see these men...
Yeah, let's understand that Darwin took, I don't even know what it was, 10, 15 years to publish. Okay? That's how long he sat on this. He basically wrote The Origin of Species. He had the idea in his head. And he spent the next 15 years fiddling around saying, well, I don't know, publish, not publish, 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 not publish, publish, publish. And that's, and watched his kids die, of course, in between.
Reflected in the configuration that The Origin of Species took. The person making the claim that Darwin did this without any real collaboration with other naturalists.
Yeah, that's not the argument. The argument, he doesn't have to cite some other reference. He doesn't have to cite somebody else's fucking work to prove his point. All he had to do was cite his own fucking observations, and that's what he does in the goddamn book. Everything he cites in the goddamn book has to do with his own fucking observed research. I mean, well, let's say, I won't say absolutely. I don't remember every single chapter of the book. But the substance of the book is discussing what he personally went out and observed other people either doing in terms of research or what he did himself in terms of research. Period. He doesn't have to cite somebody else's work to prove his fucking argument.
Also makes the claim that DNA is poison. And
that's a lie, okay? It's a fucking lie. I don't have a single video out there where I call DNA a poison. So again, you can't quote anybody honestly. Would Charles Darwin have done that? Was there something in the Darwin letter that indicated that the even Charles Darwin would find it satisfactory to listen to some trollop, talk crap like that? Poison. Quote me, bitch.
He's made it for a long time, and that we need to eradicate all DNA from the Earth, and if possible, from the universe. Now, I've listened to...
If possible, from the universe. Like you have some evidence that DNA exists somewhere else. But anyway, yeah, so I don't make any claims about the universe, okay? If it's dirty out there, we're not going to be able to clean it anyway. Yeah, the argument has been made that DNA doesn't go anywhere. It's replication for the sake of replication. There's no agenda, there's no accomplishment that's possible. It's just a silly bit of chemistry, completely whacked. Just going out there for no good reason. Just whoops, I reproduce, whoops, I reproduce, whoops, I reproduce, whoops, I reproduce. That's it, nothing else.
This for 4 years, and I know there are people who actually will believe it. That DNA is poison and must be eradicated. You can see
liar, 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 liar.
Suffering in the world. You can see that we have really dysfunctional problems with population and not things.
Yeah, we have real dysfunctional problems that are created by the dysfunctional idea that a molecule should put us all in cage matches and have us beat the shit out of each other to see who survives and call it Mr. Fit. And then we should just keep doing it over and over and over again. Keep throwing Mr. Fit in there until he looks like a great white shark and bite your fucking nuts off. What's the fucking point?
That DNA is poison.
No, the DNA is stupid. It doesn't have a brain.
DNA needs to be eradicated. There is no reason to believe this person.
There's no reason to believe the theory, apparently, that a DNA molecule has no mission, that there's nothing that can possibly be accomplished, that the whole need mechanism created inside of us creates more need that we never clean up. So there's always a need deficit created, that it's always going to run in debt, broken, dysfunctional, because that's the only thing it has. The only thing there is the dysfunction, and the only thing we can accomplish is to fix the dysfunction. That's the nature of it. So yes, you either can believe that or you cannot believe that. And you can either do it through argument or something else, but there's just absolutely no point in saying, I'm not going to believe it because he says so. I mean, that's just fucking idiotic.
This really isn't. There's no reason whatsoever. And one more fast thing. Just because
no reason whatsoever. Again, so what is the point in saying something that's stupid when you can't refute a single argument? Take one Ephesus video and refute it. Refute something in those videos. Refute something in the spelling out of the fucking reality and the simple conclusion that it's a zero-sum game, that you are chasing an illusion of accomplishment, and what you are really doing is just failing dismally. There is nothing to do here but fail. And you can fail less faily than the other guy, but you can't do much better than that. All you can be is less of a piece of shit.
We look at the sources, and I actually sit down and read. Does not mean I'm an elitist. Anybody could do.
Well, the fact that you sit there and do it in this pompous, arrogant manner as if this research proves something when it proves absolutely nothing. It demonstrates absolutely nothing. It doesn't prove your case. It does, in fact, prove my case. That there was nothing in that correspondence that enlightened Darwin in one single bit. All right? The whole fucking argument was about who has the right to publish.
This. I was fortunate enough to go to a lot of good schools. But I was also very curious, and a lot of what I know, I didn't learn at the schools I went to. I learned
I would speculate that you couldn't fucking unclog a drain. What you know is useless jabber and gibber. All right, every time you've made one of these stupid claims, you're wrong. Okay, you're wrong. and you're demonstrably wrong. And again, you have cited something and implied motives and implied what Darwin was thinking as if you have some clue, and you're fucking wrong.
With books, and I spent time reading it. I could be, it would have been almost as easy to do this as just a self-educated, curious person, as it was to spend a lot of time in classrooms, because there are downsides to taking a lot of university
Well, I'm
courses.
sorry. You demonstrate no capacity to reason whatsoever. Just none. Like I said, you couldn't reason your way out of a fucking paper bag, in my opinion. Citing this shit inappropriately once again. You're saying this proves some kind of fact that Darwin needed somebody else's research to draw his conclusions. The letters explicitly point out the exact opposite. So what the fuck have you accomplished here? Oh, that's right, absolutely nothing.
This too. I mean, I've read widely that in places that have nothing to do with university settings. So it doesn't mean really...
I remember when you grabbed hold of that little paragraph that Dawkins wrote to recontextualize the title of his book, The Selfish Gene. And you claim that Dawkins was basically somehow apologizing for the title, or apologizing for the book, or somehow disengaging from some theory in that book. And there was no such thing. The paragraph explicitly basically said, here, if I have to tell you people, it doesn't mean that human beings are intrinsically selfish. Well, duh, I can say that to you, and I'll soften this title for you, but basically, assholes, it's about what DNA molecules are doing. It's not about what fucking people are doing. And in the end game, it is all about a genetic material. And it is fucking selfish.
This just because you're curious and because you read things. Really, I mean, could we get back to the subjects at hand and to what is really true?
Yes, could we get back to talking about adopt a doggy or a kitty, okay? Let's do that. Let's adopt a doggy or a kitty and replace your light bulbs, with those expensive to produce mercury-filled fluorescent-y things. And let's suggest to people in a polite way that maybe they shouldn't have a whole ton of babies. And yeah, then we'll call our job complete. Fuck you.
Claims that DNA is poison and needs to be eradicated. That's not a valid claim. It's not scientific.
Well, guess what? It's not scientific to lie about what other people have said. Okay? To misquote them deliberately, willfully, maliciously. That's a malicious misquote. All right? To suit your own little selfish purposes. So it's very unscientific, so you fail. You get an F on the pretend to be a scientist test. Well, you just failed the test.
And it's about time we stop doing it, in my opinion.
In my
opinion. I'm going to continue to do this.
No, I'm going to continue. Yeah, go ahead.
Continue.
Continue to reveal yourself for what you are, okay? A petty, elitist, weaselly, pontificating bitch. Yeah, good. Do it some more.
Basis, because who has the time for this?
Oh, yeah, again, who has the time? Who has the time? I have the same burden, bitch. All right, I have to go out today and dig up a sewage line. Fun, fun, fun. I'll be thinking of you. Yeah, with every little turd that floats by.
Unthought out in the sense that I wasn't able to make it. I'm sick of taking a lot of time distilling the information and having it refuted.
Distilling what information? What do? You don't do a damn thing, okay? You say, Inmendum is wrong because you think epigenetics means that you can wish yourself a better DNA code. Right? You were wrong as hell. You completely mischaracterized the research. I proved you to be wrong as hell. All right, I didn't get any badges or trophies for that, which is sort of irritating. But yeah, okay, you fucked up. You blew it. You failed. All right, and now you still don't have any humility. None. Okay, that would have made a rational person a little bit humble. They would have said, "Oh fuck, I went out on the plank there and I just fucking completely failed." All right, I mean, I farted and the whole thing went all south. And you'd think that's what a rational human being would say. I'm going to be careful now in the future. I'm not going to make that kind of mistake again. And you just keep making it over and over and over again. Again, claiming that these letters prove something about how Darwin wrote his book. They prove nothing in terms of your claims, and they invalidate entirely my claim.
There's one insult from somebody. It's just ridiculous. It's a waste of everybody's time. Insults are not arguments, and making claims does
That's
not
all you do. Poison, poison, poison. I mean, all you do is make fucking poisonous insults on the internet. That's all you petty weasels do.
Argument. It's as simple as that.
Thanks for watching. I'm going to press the red button. Oh, she pressed the red button. Did you see that? She pressed the red button. Oh,
Your argument.
I saw her do it.
It's as simple as that.
Watch. Oh, yeah, I went too fast. But she pressed the red button. I saw her do it. Christmas button, we'll call it. Well, anyway, really irritating. Really, 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 really irritating.
You guys off. This is on the record.
Ooh,
Your
commercial.
opinion on whether or not.
How'd this guy come up? Ooh, that's some link on the video. Matthew Chapman on the origin of species. Eek, annoying people. Anyway, let's see if there's any I was just going to go look see if there's some comments, but I can't get this damn thing.
All right, I'm going to do
play.
this.
Don't play. There we go. The original title appeared to be On the Origin of Species by Means of Natural Selection, or The Preservation of Favored Races in the Struggle for Life. Well, whatever. Yeah, see, people are going to argue this shit forever. They'll turn Darwin into a Nazi if it's to their advantage. I mean, it's just all such a pile of crap. They can't just deal with the simple theory, which is, at that time, the kind of bold statement, that life got here through a long process of natural selection. That's the substance of what was being argued. And at the time, that was pretty bold thing to assert. And instead people have to keep turning this into something else too. They got to sell it to Adolf Hitler or something. Just disgusting. People suck. I wonder what Darwin would be actually, in hindsight, just because his life was kind of rough, especially towards the end. He had a lot of his health was basically ruined, by his South American trip. I mean, he probably had parasites he just never got rid of. And you can sort of see it in his writing. He did have a real appreciation for this idea of suffering. He did use the word more than once. And I think it's even in those letters. And, I wonder in hindsight on the old deathbed if he might have uttered the words, "I'd rather not have been." But whatever. Until next time and such. Yeah.